Now, online bullying has become the dark shadow that follows us everywhere our phones are. Platforms that were created to socialize, share moments, and reconnect with old friends are in turn being used to torment people, sometimes to death. After all, we're all protected by the freedom of speech, right? Well, some social media users in Kenya are brutally savage in running the online streets. Tonight, we talk matters cyberbullying. How far is too far? How can cyberbullying be contained? And what do you do if you get bullied? In Kenya, cyberbullying has become a major issue among Kenyans in the digital space. One of the major platforms known for bullying is Twitter. Celebrated radio presenter Linda Nyangweso, like many other public figures, has been a victim of online bullying.
The thing that's happening on social media right now is everybody feels like they have the right to have an opinion on your life and an opinion of how you look and an opinion of what you do. And I think the worst thing for me was the idea that people thought they had an opinion on not only my appearance, but what I had the right to be happy about and not. And I think that's the thing that hurt me most.
Many Kenyans online today are either victims or perpetrators of cyberbullying, knowingly or unknowingly.
So I think Instagram, because it's just based on looks and tagging, you hardly ever see what people are saying about you. But with Twitter, it's directly to you. People can be horrible and tag you on it, and you have to just survive it.
Thanks to increased digital penetration, more and more Kenyans are using social platforms to communicate and interact than ever before.
We should all just kind of be able to stand up for each other, and when you see something, say something. Call each other out and be able to say that that's not okay.
Our world-famous Twitter community, commonly referred to as KOT, Kenyans on Twitter, is one great example of how active we are online. From politicians, celebrities, and institutions, no one appears to be safe from social media trolls. But where then does one seek help when the trolling becomes too much?
Legally, you can't really do anything about it, and it's very unfair to know that no one can police the internet. So legally, there's no real redress or any healing that came from it. However, I was very lucky to be able to. I'm the kind of person who always tells people to go for therapy, and I love therapy.
While cyberbullying laws exist in the country, how effective have they been in controlling online bullying? Article 27 of the Computer Misuse and Cybercrimes Bill 2018 states that a person who knowingly publishes information that is false in print, broadcast data, or over a computer system that is calculated or results in panic, chaos, or violence among citizens, which is likely to discredit the reputation of a person, commits an offence and shall on conviction be liable to a fine not exceeding 5 million shillings or imprisonment. Critics of the Kenyan cybercrimes law argue that the law goes above and beyond to deal with free speech matters as opposed to crimes that are peculiar to cyberspace. Another problematic feature of the law is the provision that reintroduces criminal defamation law, which was determined to be unconstitutional by Justice John Mativo in February 2017, following a case that was prompted by a Facebook post.
Well, freedom of speech becomes cyber harassment when it crosses the boundary of decency and causes fear or reputational injury or threat of violence against another person who is the target of that speech. So then you know you've crossed the line. Bloggers may post information concerning public officials by virtue of their offices. So the information bloggers are posting or sharing must relate to the functional areas where those public officials really are. You cannot post private information of public officials, but you're not permitted to post any information of whatever nature concerning public figures, because public figures are private citizens. they're not necessarily public officers. Public officers, by the nature of their public duties, enjoy or are open to more scrutiny than ordinary Kenyans. So that distinction needs to be there.
There has been a spike in cases of harassment on social media where it is apparent freedom of speech is blatantly abused. The issue lies in the definition of cyber harassment.
I think that there's a problem with the law because how cyber harassment is defined in the law, it relates to sharing information that may trigger violence against another person. The issue is Kenyans or bloggers do not know where to draw the line. They need to learn to respect where the boundaries are. Freedom of speech is a critical constitutional right, but fundamental rights must be exercised within a specific spectrum of restraint. You cannot say whatever enters your imagination without consequences. You have to be careful as a blogger to attend to personal responsibility and accountability questions when you are sharing information online.
Meanwhile, nominated Senator Iman Falhada Deko now wants the government to come up with policy and legal framework to regulate the usage and presence of giant social media app TikTok. Speaking in Senate, she raised concern over the app, saying the application has created a culture of violence, hate speech, bullying and exchange of sexually explicit content, which in some cases are part of the trending topics with millions of posts. For now, until a solution is found, the cyberspace will continue being ungovernable.